Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, kingdom minded people. Good evening to you. I hope that you are having a fabulous day. I hope that your morning was wonderful and insightful. I hope that your afternoon was blessed and highly productive. And I hope that your evening is complete and whole and reflective. I hope that you're reflecting. I hope that you're sitting back in your chair, on your couch, laying on your floor, across your bed, and you're taking this evening to just look back over your day and set course for your tomorrow. I am so excited always to share wisdom, to share my wisdom, to share the things that I have learned, the things that I have been privy to, the things that I've been giving insight regarding. And I wanted to just share that I had an opportunity to attend the Hope Global Forums at the end of May. And it was very insightful. There were many CEOs and executives from all the major corporations, Chase and BBT and Wells Fargo and Dr. Bernice King from the King Foundation. There were so many executive leaders there at this particular event. Deepak Chopra and John Bryant Hope, the founder of the Hope Global Forums movement, Operation Hope. This entire movement was around educating people about the economic necessity of establishing equality. It was all about the pathway to prosperity and how do we close the gap between the haves and the have-nots? How do we ensure that a population of people are influenced in such a way from the top down and from the bottom up so that we close the gap working both ways? How do we bring synergy to this movement? How do we get the help from the local businesses in all the various states and cities and towns and markets? And how do we bring these people together? And what is the foundation that should be laid in every corporation? And as I sat there in this environment, of course, I went there expecting that the Spirit of God in me would revelate to me the underlying truth, the thing that was important for me based on the level of influence and access that I have for the community of people that I have been responsible to. I asked for that insight. I asked for that wisdom. And I sat there intensely. Intensely. I mean, I was on the edge of my chair waiting for things to come forth that I could then use. And what I realized, there are a lot of things that the Spirit has already been speaking expressly about to us. There are so many echoes and crescendos across the nation of what is actually taking place. There are signs and wonders all about us revealing that there's a discipline when it comes down to our spending. There's a discipline when it comes down to our eating. There's a discipline that needs to be had when it comes down to the way we think and behave and speak and walk and go about our business. There were discussions around conscious capitalism, and I was thinking that the Daughters of Eve, we have always been a group about how to change our minds, the importance of the foundation of our thoughts and our minds and how we frame and shape our world. And we are what we think and we are what we eat. And we are these people based on what's in our subconscious brain that's automated and running programs on its own, even without our input. And why it's so important for us to consciously impact our subconscious mind so that we rewrite and reframe our paradigms and our systems and our neurological pathways based on how we think. And it's just so imperative that we do that. We're in an age of light and darkness. We're in the age of hope and despair. We're choosing directions, and we all have to be about our business. Everybody is in business. Everybody has something going on. But which side are you on? And so as we're sitting, there was this one thing that just stood out to me. And I was thinking, how could I get this information out? And how could I just tell everybody, please make sure you're waking up. Please make sure you're shaking yourself. Look across the room at someone else and wake them up. If you have a family member that's still spiritually unconscious and still spiritually sleeping, wake them up. If you have a friend that you love so much, please wake them up. It's so important that we wake up. It's so important that we understand what's fake and what's real. It's so important for us to understand that there's fake money, fake teachers, fake assets, fake news. Yes, Donald Trump said it. It really is fake news. There's so many things that are not real that are running around in front of us every single day. And the things that are real require us to be in the spirit realm, to tap into the dimension that allows us to see without limitation. And so we are having a different type of war, and the war is on the mind. The war has been on the mind, but the mental illness cases shows that this war is winning at this point. And we need to do our part. I sat in that event and I listened to this gentleman walk on the stage and tell us how corporations are designing chips. I know some of y'all have already jumped on to Revelations, but that the corporate world is designing chips that if you want a job and you want to stop earning no money, you would receive this chip because they have been doing work around neuroplasticity. And they are finding a way, or they have found a way to rewire the workforce. Their entire goal is to rewire the workforce mentally so that they could then give people who would not have an opportunity because of their socioeconomic backgrounds, they would then have an opportunity to compete because they would have the same chance at a job by receiving this chip. They were talking and excited about pressing upon us this whole rewiring science of the brain and how they wanted to improve our neural performance and how this would allow them to track the brain and to improve how an individual brain could work. And they would just implant this wonderful device, this chip in your brain, and then download apps. And then these apps would have the best way to complete your work assignments, the best way for you. It would actually cause you, because it would tap into your neural system, your nervous system, and it would cause you to function so that you're an exceptional worker. Yep, you heard me. An implant, a neural chip in your brain that allows you to download. And they talked about how this same chip would allow them or whoever owned this app, program, chip that you have implanted in you. This chip would allow them to plant memories, fake memories, the memory that they want you to retain. And then they kept on talking about this whole human 2.0. This whole human 2.0. And I began to think about a dream that I had, and I've had it twice, where I was a brain hacker. And my responsibility was to go into the spirit realm and free people's minds from these hacked systems where they had allowed themselves to be caught up and they participated in something and it took over their minds. I think about that all the time. And then I'm sitting there and I'm in this room and I'm hearing this gentleman and he is so excited about this system that this will be a part of your job application process. And I was crying because sure enough, Revelations 13:16-17 popped right into my head and I began to cry. There is toxicity in this world in so many ways. And because of the continuing disparity between the haves and the have-nots, people are going to want to try this. They've already given you visor systems and all types of gaming systems. And there are so many different things on virtual reality and AI technology and all these things that have been closing the gap. Total Recall movie, Revere. They have all these shows that have come out showing you that the government can tap in. And guess what network system? They said that this system could run off of 5G. That's right. 5G technology. People, we got to wake up. You have a brain. You have been given every gift, talent, and ability. You have spiritual wisdom. You have knowledge embedded in you. It's in your DNA. It's coded in you. There is a gift. There is something that you are supposed to use. There's something that you're supposed to do. There's some great thing. We have to unite. We have to feed one another. We have to participate in humanity of caring for one another. We have to really learn how to become a community, not just on Facebook and all types of social media, but as a real family where we come together, we touch one another. We have to make sure that we're walking and using empathy when we're dealing with one another, that we really care about what is happening. Otherwise, Human 2.0 is on the rise. And they shared at this event how the government has been practicing this with the military forces, with soldiers. They even brought a device on stage of how they put the device on you so that it starts learning your neurological pathways. There is a human cost of doing business, people. But business should be about healing people. Our business should be about healing. Our business should be about restoration. Our business should be about taking care of the planet that we live on. Our business is how to help others. And at the very least, don't harm them in the process of helping them while you're trying to say that you're helping them. It's so important for us to dismantle this system of dysfunctional brain development. There is a system, there is a gap. Our public schools are failing us, and they are still programming people in a very unnatural way. There are those students that go through the process unaffected, but there are still those that do not thrive in these environments. But year after year, we crank our children into these systems, and at home, there is no further brain development. Reading literacy is down. Financial literacy never really existed. And third grade students are at risk because when they're tested, they're not mentally where they need to be. We need somebody. That somebody is you to get involved. If you know your why, then you can endure your how. If you know your why, then you can endure your how. But there is a system of dysfunctional brain development that is continuing to happen. And the rate of change is soaring where it comes down to technology. And here comes this company saying, hey, we'll just come right in. We'll fix that. We'll put an artificial gadget into your brain and we will close the gap. Kingdom-minded people, wake up. Wake up. I want you to sit around and have discussions about this. I want you to think about what your spiritual work is in this process. I want you to understand that you are the beloved community. You are the people of the chosen Most High. You are. And chaos or community. Dr. Martin Luther King used to say that. Where do we go from here? Where? Do we love humanity? And we have to rapidly shift from a thing-oriented society to a person-oriented society. We are walking around more concerned about our iPhone, our Samsungs, our televisions, our cars, our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, making sure we had a post, all of these things, but we're not vested. Balance is needed. There's an internal life and there's an external life. And many people are living in that external life and not in their internal. It's always an inside job. There's an internal work that must occur. The Holy Spirit, the spirit of life, the essence of a man and a woman and a boy and a girl and a child is within you. It's called the breath of God. It's called the life of God. It's the power that orchestrates the entire universe. It is the power of love, and it's in you. And you have to sit with that. We are so vulnerable because of materialism, showmanship, competitiveness, all of this stuff, barbaric type of things that distract us from our mutual connectivity. We're distracted. And we're going to have to work on our internal lives. And we have to be balanced in both areas. We can't be great on one side and not so great. Listen, we are the universe. We are the macrocosm and the microcosm. Think about that. Stop romanticizing every little thing. There is so much war and rape and terrorism and all these different things that are going on in our society. However, we're still distracted. And we say we don't like it. We blame it on the government. But guess who the government is? Your government should be the king who sits on the throne of your mind. And if that king is the wrong king, perhaps you need to dethrone that king so that the right king can sit on your brain and tell you what it is that must be done. We have to work on it. And we need an us people movement. We need to call it an us movement. What are we going to do to save lives? What are you going to do to save the lives of your cousins, your great auntie, your great uncle, your nephew, your niece? I'm not even asking you to go across the street to your neighbor's house. I'm asking you to look into your own family. Yes, the ones that hurt you, the ones that spoke against you, the ones that bite you behind on your back and all this other stuff that you're going to come up with as an excuse. Yet you say you love God. Health and wholeness go hand in hand. How are we going to heal our families? Heal ourselves, heal our families, heal the world. That can't happen without each person. Love heals. Love brings health. Health and wholeness go hand in hand. I just want to encourage you. Take some time and wake up. Who are you going to help today? Who are you going to help tomorrow? What can you do to change your world? Be aware. What talent, what gift, what work were you created for? That you might put that in planned motion. In planned motion. It needs to be in a plan and it needs to get in motion, and you need to establish yourself. Grow some food. Practice growing some food. There's a crisis sitting at the edge, and we need to be aware. I just want to encourage you. Save yourself, save your family, save your friends, save your neighbors. Prayer is about interceding, meaning getting involved, not just sitting back and speaking something out of your mouth. That's stage 1. Stage 2 is finding what your hands could do. Get involved. Intercede. Get involved. There's a global world at risk. There's a global economy at risk. We need you. I love you. I hope that this information in some way brings enlightenment and change to you. I hope it sets a fire under your feet that causes you to run to the point that you've accomplished all your goals, to the point that you've helped others accomplish theirs, to the point that you have started something new, to the point that you will no longer allow excuses to hold you back. I pray that you will be smart, that you will create smart alliances, that you will partner with other people in life and do life well. I want you to know that I love you. Be blessed. Be blessed. If you know your why, you can endure anyhow. Anyhow, no matter what comes up. Get involved. Bless you. Love you. Bless you, and I love you. I approve of you, and I approve of myself. God bless.